Now here I am at a relatively new reef tank. It's been suffering from a little bit of algae, but the main problem is there was problems with the protein skimmer, which I'll just outline in a second. But the first bit of advice I want to give is see the way those outlets reach right down into the aquarium. Now because those outlets reach right down into the aquarium, he's had to run his sump very low to accommodate all of this water going back into the aquarium. Now, because the outlets are so deep in the aquarium, it also means that it's going to have very high surface tension. So you can see that there's no agitation of the surface at all. If there's no agitation of the surface, that means that there's no oxygen. The only oxygen he's getting is when the water goes down the pipes. So we want to lower the extension so it's right at the surface of the water, creating maximum surface agitation, and therefore we can put a lot more water in that sump, potentially another couple of 100 litres, which is going to make the aquarium a lot easier to run. And what was going on down here is he had a protein skimmer and he couldn't set the protein skimmer, and the reason being is the protein skimmer was actually outside, it was just here, and the outlet was plumbed, so then the outlet of the skimmer had to go up and over this sump. So that made the gravity level of the skimmer way too high. So what I did was take the skimmer from the side and put the skimmer in the actual sump, and there's plenty of room in there for the sump anyway, and now the skimmer's working perfectly. But you can't see too well, but you can see there's the neck of the skimmer there, and right now the froth level is just at the bottom of the unit, just around here. And then here's your tap. It's a bit dark for you to see in there, but there's your tap. So what I'm going to do now is slowly bank off this outlet, which restricts the water leaving the skimmer, and then in a second you should see the water coming up within the sump, which you can just see now. So you can now see, it's a bit dark in there. Yeah, no, the skimmer cap just filled right up then. But the most important thing about a protein skimmer is to make sure that the water is unrestricted on the way out, and remember that it can't travel up. So that would affect where the gravity level of the skimmer is. So the outlet of the skimmer must flow down, it can't flow up, and then you use this tap on the outlet of the skimmer to restrict the water that's leaving the skimmer, and that's how you set your froth levels. And if the water inside the skimmer is white, if the froth is white, you want it to stay inside the skimmer. If the froth starts to go brown or yellow, then you want that to come out. And when you're cleaning a skimmer, the main thing you're cleaning is the inside of this tube, because you get fatty acids and things build up which actually break down the absorbate. So this tank's also got a nice big UV sterilizer on it. It's got a couple of heaters. It's got a block of marine pure down there. It's got some pre-filtration, plenty of water flow. So with those couple of tips, this will be a beautiful fish tank. So it's only new, but once this tank gets running, it'll be a beauty.